Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. All right, so game 4 is in the books, 107-97. It was a great one. The Golden State Warriors got the victory on the road as predicted. The series is now tied 2-2, and we saw a lot of Steph Curry shooting threes tonight. He hit 7 of them, 10 boards, 43 points. He was the man, the absolute man tonight. There will be no question about whether or not he played his butt off in these finals, because he has been putting on one performance after another, and tonight was the bar. He was letting it fly, and he didn't let up. He just simply did not let up, and was a massive reason for why he was able to get that victory on the road. Another massive reason, the stellar rebounding of the Golden State Warriors as a team. When you out-rebound the Boston Celtics by 13 boards, and you get 16 offensive rebounds, you know you did something. Steph had 10 boards. I believe it was Wiggins that had 16 boards. I think it was 16 he finished off with, and Kevon walked away with 11 of them. That will get it done. As I've always told you guys, when the Golden State Warriors crush you on the glass, you lose. It's that simple. The rebounding is the key. And when the Celtics destroyed them on the boards in the last game, they won. Golden State reestablished the boards tonight. They won. That's going to be the story every night, period. Now, another thing that I thought was really key tonight was, ultimately, as always, the Boston Celtics defense. It did a lot of things tonight, made things difficult. Robert Williams was continuing to be a menace out there. You look at Marcus Smart, he had 4 steals. Jason Tatum had 3 blocks. So you could clearly see the Boston Celtics defense did not let up. But Steph Curry was just busting it up, as he has been the entire series. And that's the thing. It's just a situation where, as great as the defense is, there's no answer for that legendary shooter over there. There's no answer. When he sees even the smallest amount of daylight, he's letting it fly. Ankle injury, no ankle injury, whatever, what injury. He was amazing tonight. One of the best performances you'll ever see out of Steph Curry in the NBA Finals. Might have been his greatest Finals performance to date, to be completely honest with you. I think that might have been his greatest Finals performance. So you just love what you see, and man, guys are establishing their legacy. I want to say this right here and now. Andrew Wiggins has earned a tremendous amount of respect from me tonight, because Steph Curry was phenomenal. I think Andrew Wiggins might have been equally phenomenal, to be completely honest with you. He might have been just as phenomenal when you consider what he was doing on those boards, when you consider what he was doing defensively, when you consider how he was driving at the rim, taking contact, you consider he was shooting the 3, you consider he was doing everything down there for his team with the minutes given. I don't think I've seen Andrew Wiggins play a better basketball game. I don't believe I have. He looked like the first overall pick in the NBA draft several years back. And I'm happy to see where he's at right now. Playing huge in the NBA Finals, coming up as big can get. Far, far away from somebody that people didn't want to play with on draft night and was trading him away to Minnesota for whatever God knows reason. At the end of the day, this guy has turned his career into something great, and tonight he had a moment that none of us will be forgetting anytime soon. And I want to also shout out, of course, as I said, Kevon Looney, who's continuing to make his presence felt in these playoffs in a massive way. A free agent who I know is going to make some money, period. He is just rebounding the ball, playing some fantastic defense. He is affecting things in a major way. That Boston Celtics team had a very different look tonight because he was out there. And even though Draymond had his struggles scoring the ball tonight, ultimately they were able to give him a spell when necessary, because Kevon was able to play as well as he did tonight. He had the best plus minus of anyone on the Golden State Warriors tonight, a plus 21 if I'm not mistaken. He stole the ball, he rebounded the ball, he was efficient, and he made sure that he helped his team on both sides of the floor. So that's what it is, man. I'm talking about the Golden State Warriors. You understand that neither team shot the ball particularly well from behind the arc. The Golden State Warriors shot more threes than they've shot in a while. I think they shot 43 threes tonight. But you understand that that's a good thing, because they were finding themselves in a shootout. I think the Boston Celtics, if you ask me, I thought the Boston Celtics played well tonight for the most part. I didn't see really anything out of them that made me say, "Oh my God, you're pissing me off," or "Oh, you're killing yourself." Nothing really other than turning the ball over, which is something they're prone to do. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't remember how many turnovers they had tonight. It's the numbers faded out of my mind for some reason, but they did turn the ball over more than Golden State. They didn't assist the ball as much as you'd like to see them assist the ball. They've been having 30 plus assists on games where they've won. They only had 22, I believe it was tonight. 22 and 20 between the two teams, respectively. And Boston, I think they fell in love with the three too much themselves. They shot, I believe it was 15 of 38 or something like that. That's a little more than you want to see them shoot. 8 of 23, I believe it was, or something like that for Jason Tatum. Not the greatest efficient night for him. He turned the ball over 6 times. That's kind of the thing right there. You look at some of the others on the team, you didn't see enough attempts from a guy like Al Horford, 2 of 6. I need more shots there. Grant Williams got in early foul trouble, picked up 4 fouls, and just was a no-show. And I don't think the Boston Celtics can win without Grant Williams. They haven't been forced to play without Grant Williams. He's one of the most durable players out there. But sometimes you have games like this where he just does not show up. There's nothing to reflect his performance in the box score. He was out there. He was playing defense. I don't have to tell you that he was out there pushing people and doing things. But when you look at the box score, you see 0 for 2. You see no boards, no steals, it's like, where was he? Where was the production? I remember him hitting a 3-point shot tonight. I don't know. When you look at what's wrong with the Boston Celtics on a night like tonight, there's not a whole lot really wrong. But then you look at so much usage. You see so many players with DNPs. You see Peyton Pritchard with 10 minutes. And then you see Grant Williams with literally no production off the bench. There was no bench production for the Boston Celtics. That's what I'm here to tell you. Aside from Al Horford, they didn't have a bench tonight. So if anything that's wrong with the Boston Celtics is just they shortened their bench a little too much. And as I said at the end of game 2, they're dealing with fatigue. They've been through 2 straight 7-game series. I understand shrinking your bench makes a lot of sense as it pertains to this time of year. You don't trust everybody. But Ime Udoka has to understand it. I think that's really what hurt him tonight. I think he should have ran with a little Aaron Naismith tonight just to give you guys a little breather. And Peyton Pritchard's minutes should go up just a little bit, man. He's had a good plus-minus in these finals. I don't know why he hasn't been trusted a bit more. I don't think he's that much of a defensive liability at all. In fact, I've seen him play great defense. His 3-ball hasn't been falling, but he can hit that shot. We know he can hit that shot. So I just feel like Ime Udoka didn't lean on his bench enough. And I think the team was a little bit tired tonight. I really do. I think fatigue played a part. I think the Golden State Warriors' fantastic adjustments also played a part. I think Steve Kerr has to be given a lot of credit for putting size on the floor, starting Otto Porter tonight, even though Otto didn't have that kind of night. The point was he gave himself a different look out there, and I think the rotations were a bit better. It was questionable for me seeing him put Bjelica in the game at the end of the second quarter, near the end of the second quarter. But then you look up and Bjelica's making great plays. He's driving at the basket. He's picking up opportunities to 50-50 balls, and making things happen, rebounding the ball, offensive rebounds, things of that nature. So I thought, at the end of the day, whether I'm second guessing it or not, Steve Kerr made some really good adjustments tonight that worked for his team. Draymond Green was sat at the end of the game. We'll talk about that. I think a lot will be said about Draymond Green's performance tonight because he did have some moments where he, didn't look that great. He didn't score. I don't think he scratched at all tonight. But if you look at his plus-minus, he had a 0 plus-minus, which means he wasn't a negative on his team. And why was that the case? Because he had 8 assists, 9 rebounds. In fact, I think he led the team in offensive rebounds. And he had 4 steals as well. So this was actually more of a Draymond Green type of regular, good, solid Draymond Green game than probably any other game that he's had in these finals. This was his best game. So the fact that he was sat in this game, I think there's something to be said for overreacting to his bad performance in the last game / hyper reacting to maybe some right away struggles that you see in the moment. Like, he's struggling right now, get him out of here. Which is what I think he should be. And when I say he, Steve Kerr should be doing in regards to Draymond Green and several other players on his team. Since you have such a deep team, and since you have so many different things that you need on the floor at the same time, it's okay to sit Draymond Green if he's struggling. It's okay to sit Klay Thompson if he's struggling. It's okay to sit Jordan Poole if he's struggling, because you have those players on your bench who are going to help the other players who are playing well more so than those guys. You know, GP2 is going to help Andrew Wiggins more so than Klay Thompson is in some cases, depending on how Klay's shot is falling. He's going to help him more. You know, Otto Porter is in theory going to help with the glass and things like that for Kevon Looney more so than maybe Jordan Poole will as a slight player. So, like, there's certain things that just I think that Steve Kerr can do that actually help him more so than leaning on the superstar legends that he has in a lot of cases. Now, Klay Thompson came through big down the stretch tonight, hitting clutch threes in the fourth quarter, making a fantastic defensive play on Jaylen Brown down the closing seconds of the game. I think Klay Thompson really showed out in a very positive way tonight, even though his shot selection was horrific in the first half. It was utterly bad. But just like he has throughout these entire playoffs, he comes back in the second half, and plays better. And that's what we saw. We saw him come through in heroic fashion in the fourth quarter and make plays on both ends. As we said, Jordan Poole's played not so well in this series, but he did have a great first half. I thought he was ultra aggressive. I like what I saw from him. In the second half, he didn't look like himself, but I think a lot of that had to do with the inconsistencies of the rotations, which I thought were basically necessary evils tonight. Searching for things that worked, I thought Steve Kerr did a good job. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. That's the gist of how I saw that particular game. Obviously there's more to say in regards to the Boston Celtics, because what I'm seeing there from the Boston Celtics, they're relying a lot on Jason Tatum taking shots, and that's always a good thing. Don't get it twisted, but I do think he may have attempted a little too many shots. And while I do like the usage of the other scoring players on the team, Derek White got a good amount of shots, Jaylen Brown got a good amount of shots, Marcus Smart got a good amount of shots. So the other guys I need shooting shot enough. The problem is I need other guys who are not known for scoring to score in a game like tonight. I need Derek White scoring to be a little more efficient tonight. I need Robert Williams to get me a couple extra dunks tonight. As I said already, I need Al Horford to give me more than 6 attempts tonight. I need Peyton Pritchard to have more shots tonight. Like, that's what ended up happening. I think some of those Jason Tatum shots needed to go to those guys. That's what I'm here to tell you. I don't know if I need him to attempt that many shots when he's only as efficient enough to hit 8 of them. That's not the night I need Jason Tatum shooting that much. I guess that's the gist of the thought. This ain't the night for him to be shooting that much. This is the night for him to understand that he doesn't have it like that and to keep looking for assists just like he did in game 1. He didn't have enough assists out there for me tonight, and he had way too many turnovers out there for me tonight, and he had way too many brick shots out there for me tonight. That's a lot of negative coming from your superstar. Whole lot of negative. And while he made up for it blocking three shots, ultimately that really did hurt a lot. They needed more balance from the others. So that's something I'm looking at. And also, Boston, you got to crash the glass more, man. You had a great Game 3 crashing the glass. I don't know where that went. Obviously, Kevon Looney and the adjustment that the Golden State Warriors made was the difference. So I know exactly where it went. They fixed the hole. They didn't leave themselves without rim protection tonight. But at the same time, you do need the Boston Celtics to meet that force with force, as they always say, and put themselves in positions to crash the glass. Andrew Wiggins, fantastic rebounder. Is there any excuse for him having 16 boards? Honestly, hell no. There is no excuse for that. Steph Curry had 10 rebounds. Why does Steph Curry have 10 rebounds, Boston? How does that even happen? And don't get it twisted. I'm encouraging Steph Curry to keep rebounding. But we're talking about the Boston Celtics and what they're supposed to be preventing. That should never happen. You know what I'm saying? I can't get 11 boards out of Kevon Looney, 15 boards out of Andrew Wiggins, or 16 boards out of Andrew Wiggins, whichever it is, and then also 10 boards out of Steph Curry and think I'm going to walk away with the victory. That's not going to happen. And then you giving Draymond Green 9 of them. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is ridiculous. And then I look at the box score with the rebounding there for their team, and I'm like, okay, Jalen did, he did some things. I need more boards out of those guys, out of everybody. Out of the Williams guys, obviously we say Grant Williams didn't pretty much do much anything tonight. That's the problem right there. And I say this, and I'm going to stress this, and I've said it more than once. There's two things I need Grant Williams to do, besides what he already does. He needs to attempt three-point shots, because I really do think that's a weapon that he can use all the time. And I think he's a much better three-point shooter than anybody ever imagined. And he's going to also have to rebound the ball, man. He does not rebound the ball enough for his size and his ability. He should be grabbing at least 7 boards a game. And when he gets further into his career, I want to see him pull down even more than that. Because with his size and his strength, and as physical as he is, boxing out people anyway, there's no reason for him not to stumble upon at least 5-6 boards a game. He should be able to do that in his sleep. So I don't know what's going on there, but if I'm Boston in the offseason, we're running rebounding drills with that dude. We're going to turn him into a much better rebounder, because there's no reason for him not to be. He's too active doing the things that rebounders do to not get rebounds. It's crazy. So that's something I want to see him work on. And so that's what it is, man. I love what I'm seeing out of the Golden State Warriors on a night like tonight, where they came into Boston Garden, a very, very tough arena, of course, after getting a loss handed to them. And came in there with their heads held high, aggressive, determined to take it to the Boston Celtics. Steph Curry was absolutely relentless. They understood the assignment. They had to rebound the ball. They had to win the interior scoring battle. They know they got crushed in them 2 areas last game, and they know if that continues, they were going to get beat. There's no way around it. So they made the adjustment, and you got to give them their credit. And then again, not enough is going to be said about how well Dre played. And what I mean by how well he played is he didn't play bad tonight. A lot of people are going to tell you he played bad tonight. And to the eye test, he did play bad tonight. But if you look at the box score and you consider what it is you want him to do, he actually did a lot of good things. So take that for what it's worth. What do I expect for next game? See, that's the thing. This game, all I really saw in this game was a counterpunch from Steve Kerr. Okay? It's a counterpunch. That's all that was. It was not even that's not even what I would consider a massive strike. Like, you get hit with a punch and it's like, oh, they hit him with a tough blow. I think Game 3 was a tougher loss for the Golden State Warriors than Game 4 was a loss for the Boston Celtics. I really do. It's not that I think that there wasn't a massive loss, but you just take that one on the chin. You understand that all the Golden State Warriors really did was patch up the holes that they had left open in the first place. That's all they did. Other than that, they didn't really blow the roof off. You calm your turnovers down, you up your rebounding total, and hit a couple extra 3-point shots and free throws, and you probably win this game yourself. Steph Curry hit 7 threes on 43 shots. 43 points. He has efficiency like that. I think he attempted maybe 23 shots. You got to tip your hat. That's one of the greatest players ever played the game. He's going to have a night like that. Can he do it again? That's what I say to Boston. If I'm Boston, yes, this series does shift back to San Francisco. But can he do that again? Can Wiggins get another 16 boards? You know what I'm saying? Because those are the type of things that I'm going to force them to do again if they're going to beat me. My building or your building, the formula still remains when it comes to beating the Golden State Warriors. You attack the glass. You beat them on the interior. That's how you do it. And if Boston just simply takes care of the ball just a little bit more and rebounds the ball just a little bit more, they're up 3-1. Steph Curry, 43 points or not, they're up 3-1. And that's what scares me about this, because I don't think Boston really, I don't think they're really hanging their head. I don't think they're really scared going into Game 5. I think they should be just as confident as they were going into this game. I don't think Golden State really instilled any fear despite getting the victory. If anything, they just bought themselves some more time. I still feel like Boston's a better team. And that's something Golden State's going to have to do something about. That's something they're going to have to do something about. They're going to have to win a game in their building in demonstrative fashion if they want to take the mental edge, because it just doesn't feel like they have it. After a win, it just feels like they stopped the bleeding rather than took an edge. They still got so much they got to deal with that team. But the one thing I am saying, and I've said this now for 2 games and maybe 3 games now, the Boston Celtic fatigue is starting to rear its ugly head. I'm seeing it. Udoka is going to have to use some of that bench, man. How much more of this you going to get out of Robert Williams? How much more of this you getting out of Marcus Smart? These guys have been battling, and their bodies are tired. And now they got to get on another long flight. Yes, the environment's going to be very, very hostile. Golden State is going to be a hostile environment, but it ain't going to be like Boston. That's 2 different types of energy. But I'm still looking forward to what Golden State's going to bring to the table. I'm sure it's going to be hyped like crazy. I think, this is a game where you look at Jordan Poole and say, continue to be aggressive. You're at home again. Feel that home cooking. And Kevon Looney, give yourself more rim protection. Learn from your mistakes if you're Steve Kerr. Learn from your mistakes. See what's working. Give yourself more Gary Payton II. Much more Gary Payton II, because his defense is so very imperative. He was out there getting steals, blocks, all types of stuff with the limited minutes he was given. He affects change in a very positive way. So you got to use him more so than you have. And, I just want to tip my hat once again to Klay Thompson down the stretch. Even though he's had a rough game, a rough series, he's still finding ways to be the hero down the stretch and help his Splash brother, finish out games. Because I'm telling you, there's no way they win that game without that defensive stop down the stretch and his 3-point shots that made things happen. Now, the last thing I want to mention is Jaylen Brown. When we talk about things that people need to work on in the offseason, Jaylen Brown's going to have to work on his handle, man. There were a couple situations where the ball it wasn't nobody's fault. Was the defense up on him, playing him tight? Yes. But he dribbled the ball off his own foot in a couple of them situations. He handles the ball too much for that to be an issue. He's going to have to shore that up somehow. And as great as a player as he is, and he is a great player, that's a level of evolution for him that he's going to have to continue to work on. It's that ball handling, because that is a problem. Them active hands of the Golden State Warriors tonight were very, very aggressive tonight on him, and they did a good job on him tonight. So you got to work on something there. So that is the thought. That is what I want to say. I'm trying to figure out who else needs to be mentioned. I do not know. I couldn't be more impressed with the rebounding of that trio from Golden State, or rather quad, if you consider Draymond. Sitting him down the stretch, I didn't have a problem with. Like I said, he didn't pass the eye test. He more so passed the ultimate overall Draymond Green expectations test, is what I would say. That's it. That's what I got, man. That is what I got. I like the adjustments from Steve Kerr. I think Ime Udoka's now going to adjust to what he saw. It will be wildly successful because that's what the history has told us. We know these two coaches are fantastic at what they do in terms of their counter punches. So expect Boston to hit hard in San Francisco. A couple days rest will be great for both teams, but unfortunately, like I said, that long flight is going to kick their butts. We'll see how that goes. Robert Williams is who I'm paying attention to in regards to that. Can his game travel back to San Francisco? Because I know dealing with that knee, it's one thing to play great at home. You got everything home cooking, your own everything, but flying back to California, that is not a great thing for him. So I'm wondering if he's going to be able to continue to play the way that he's playing, and if he does, that's going to be a big deal for Boston, to say the least. So that's what I see, man. Golden State patched up some massive holes that they created their damn selves. Simple as that. They won game 4, same way they need to try to win every game. Kill it on the glass, and of course, do the best you can to defend the Boston Celtics as well. So that's what I got, man. Interior scoring is important. BDF 44, I thank you all for watching. I'm out.